What I've got for you today is a best-of-3 series of Zerg versus Protoss. And I've heard that these games are particularly spicy. So let's find out together exactly what ended up going down. For some reason, we have changed up our decal. Spotting right here in the bottom right-hand corner in game number 1, we're looking inside of the main base of Hero. Why have we changed the portrait spinning around on the main base? Didn't he previously have Zest? Am I crazy? I thought he had Zest spinning around on the main base. Anyways, it's going to be a high ground pylon, a little bit odd. His opponent in the upper left, playing with the blue Zerg drones. He goes by the name of Rogue. It's a cannon rush. There's no way, dude. I was wondering why we built a pylon on top of the high ground. That is not the norm. Normally, you go for a pylon right over there. Okay. Yep, we're just doing the good old cannon rush. Now, is Rogue going to see this? The pylon is in a pretty far away location, but I'm assuming if you put down photon cannons here at the maximum range, that will certainly still be able to hit that hatchery. I mean, at this point, there's already one photon building, and I think now he realizes that something fishy is going on. Hero decides to make a wall off on his opponent's side of the map. Everybody's always criticizing him for being bad at walls. He's showing us that he can wall the opponent's natural. New strategy. Already, though, this is very difficult right now to stop. It takes 4 drones to lower the HP of a building photon cannon like this. Technically 3, but 4 to reliably snipe it down, and this one is already up. It's a dirty one. We're leapfrogging the photon cannons, right? So the next one over here is within range of the one in the back. So the drones can't really fight it. This gateway is going to allow him as well to start producing zealots in a moment. And, I mean, Zerglings are going to be awesome, I suppose, but you need a hell of a lot of them. And there will be 4 photon cannons very soon. Okay, spine crawlers coming up here for Rogue instead, but I don't like this position for the Zerg player whatsoever. That hatchery is already dead. Even if you break through this, what exactly did you achieve? Hero, by the way, has more workers on the back of this as well from the opponent, or compared to the opponent. He's doubling down, though. Now also building up the cybernetics core on the other side of the map. Yeah, the hatchery is going to be dead. So how much work can the spine crawlers put in? I don't think they will be able to achieve too much. Oh my god, he's going to try. He's going to try and unburrow them and burrow them right next to the photons again. Those zealots are so nice, though. Can tank so much damage. Looks like the photon cannons have been retargeted onto the spines, but indeed, GG gets cold. As Hero obtains a win within 3 minutes. Alright, and just like that, we find ourselves on Tokamak. Game number 2 in this best-of-3 series. I think, Hero, we should go do it again. Nah, it's gonna be a low-ground pylon. Although, to be fair, just because it's a low-ground pylon, it doesn't mean that there won't be a cannon rush, but I highly doubt we are going to be seeing another one coming up. Right? Right? And that's always the problem with these sort of strategies. This is now going to live rent-free inside of Rogue's head. Not just in this particular series, but I'm sure as well in future series down the line. The top-level players, they tend to play against each other quite a lot. Yeah, Rogue already checking out front right now. Look at this. This is what a bullied Zerg player looks like. Alright, well, he does go for the hatchery first. Second Overlord will be used as well for scouting the exact same location. I love that so much in StarCraft, man, where you see the players just confirming. Maybe I make it too big of a story in my own head, but you see the players confirming that they're not being hit with the exact same strategy again. Even when you scout it out here, though, right? Like, even though Rogue just checked, I think that was even, like, it was too early. It wasn't even really giving him any additional safety. It doesn't even guarantee that it isn't the same strategy again. And look at this as well from Hero. Hero now following this up with a completely scoutless build. So he's not bothering. He's going quick nexus on the low ground. Not a single worker has gone across. I don't think we're making any unit until the Cybercore is done. It will probably be an Adept. If you want to be a real gamer, you don't even chrono boost the Adept either, although that's just stupid. It does show that you have a very high testosterone level as a Protoss player. Pretty sure that's what it does. All right, anyways. Spawning pool is done. Eventually, queen production will start up as well. For now, Rogue sees that everything indeed is normal. Okay, he's gonna spot the Nexus as well. Thank God, immediately the Overlord returns. The problem is, now you're playing a normal game against a very greedy Protoss start. It's always difficult to exactly say how many minerals you lose from worker scouting, but you do lose at least like 100. Just because the worker is out there and it's not mining, so you lose some potential mining time, and it really does add up. A lot of the timing attacks that Protoss players go for, I mean, the sharper you hit the timing, right? Like if you can get an additional Zealot out, that is actually significant. So any of that greed paying off already here for Hero is nice. Anyways, Stargate here is now done. I'm assuming we're going to be making oracles. Yep, there it is. Rogue building up the third hatchery as well. He did pull out a gas at exactly 100, so just enough for metabolic boost. I'm assuming he'll put the drones back in right about right now. Usually this is about the point that you make some drones and then you rally them back into the extractor. Adept Scout, though, is trying to figure out roughly what's happening, so obviously Hero doesn't know too much. He does get first blood. That's one of the downsides here of this type of opener for Protoss, right? You're completely in the dark. But then again, what are the odds right now of a Rogue being the one going for like a Baneling Bust or a Roach Ravager all-in or like a quick Lair with a Nidus Worm or whatever? I mean, Rogue is certainly not somebody that shies away from those threats. But when you're 1-0 behind, it is a little bit risky. Okay. Yeah, Overlord is going to die too, man. Third Nexus, by the way, is coming up. I think we finish off the Overlord. Sorry, Otto. This is a little mean, but you're dead. Happy birthday right there to Hero. Popping the balloons. Actually, you're not really supposed to pop the balloons on your birthday, right? Although there's probably a culture out there on Earth where whoever birthday it is, maybe they get to pop the balloons instead of, like, blow them up. Anyways. Ooh, that is so insanely risky. Calm down, Hero. Jeez. We're diving deep for every single worker kill. So far, though, you can't really criticize them all too much, considering 0 minerals and gas have been lost. Adept follow-up right now on the back of this. We've got ourselves a Twilight Council together with a Forge at the front. That's weird. Normally, you don't make a wall off at the third this early on. Those Adepts are going to be trading out relatively efficiently. The goal for this type of attack for Protoss is not so much to try and kill drones, but to just slow down the eco. And just by forcing down a whole lot of Zerglings here, it means that Zerg has to reproduce them. And obviously, if Zerg is making links at this point, you're also effectively slowing down their economy quite a bit. This is curious, though. So we have 2 pylons over here and then a wall off right at the third. Look at this. Hero even using hold position on a Stalker in the wall off. He's a changed man. We're double walling. We're not even all army hotkeying anymore. We're going into good old Blink Stalkers here. Cannon Rush, of course, in the first match of the series. Honestly, very clean thus far here for Hero. Not really making any mistakes. There are no Zerglings moving around the right side as well. This is usually one of the big errors in Hero's gameplay. When the Lynx do manage to sneak into the natural expansion. Hero is certainly a all-army hotkey enjoyer. And it costs him games quite a lot. Oh, we're just going straight Baneling Bust? Really? Well, I mean, this is not an early game Baneling Bust. I was wondering why Rogue's worker numbers were so low. This is Hero having to deal with some, well, Zerg cheese. So, Cannon Rush in game number 1, Baneling Bust in game number 2. What year is it? Sorry, little Stalker, you held position really nicely, but you are now super dead. The question is mostly how many workers will go down, and I mean, that was 0 movement on that Protoss mineral line at all. He was busy microing as well on the other side. Now the Zerglings slip into the main, although the Oracles will be good in that regard too. Stalkers over at the third base trying their very best to just deal with as many of those links as possible. Cybercore gets sniped down. Now you do need a Cybercore to be able to produce Stalkers. So Blink is now done, but if you can't make Stalkers, obviously that kind of, well, negates a lot of the advantage. Then again, +1 melee is done here for Rogue, and I feel like he would actually enjoy playing against Stalkers better than he enjoys playing against Zealots, because the Zealots also have +1, and it allows them to two-shot Zerglings. It's like, haha, you can now only really make Zealots to defend your base, which is also better than what you were previously making. Congratulations. It's kind of unfortunate for you. Okay, additional Banelings, though, were morphed in. So far, there has not been enough damage dealt. Yes, mineral lines have disappeared, but Protoss already was a full mineral line ahead of the opponent. And those oracles are still extremely cost-effective. The wall-off at the third, by the way, has been super nice. It's now allowed him to get way more value. Cybercore 2.0 is done. It was built in the natural, so the Stalkers can once more continue blinking. And as the dust settles, Rogue has already been droning up again for a little bit. 29 probes have gone down, 10 drones in total as well. The little counter-attack there from Hero still being very effective. This game is actually quite even. Difficult one to read, though, for the players right now, right? Because if you look at this from a player's point of view, like, yeah, Rogue knows that he's dealt a bunch of damage on the other side of the map, but it's very easy to overestimate the amount. And then likewise as well, Hero knows that he dealt some damage on the other side of the map, but he also took a lot of damage at home. So how do you really judge the current spot? Apparently what we do is we go double Robo. That's crazy to me. I would have assumed the Templar Archives before double Robo, but I think Hero is maybe a little bit concerned of a Roach follow-up. Either way, he will be able to... Really? We're getting double Robo, Templar Archives, and a 4th Nexus? Alright, Hero. Well, Rogue is going to be aggressive again in the future, but I'm wondering if maybe at this point he's already gotten away with some of that greed. Hero, that is. There are a lot of Zerglings available. Maybe the Lynx can actually get a cancel on the 4th. Yeah. Right now, Rogue sees that the opponent has been greedy, but he hasn't seen all of the tech. Charge, by the way, is about halfway done at this point. +3 ground. All things considered, super early. Hero is actually playing with so much confidence. You love to see it. Sometimes you see players just lacking a little bit of confidence in their gameplay and they're all just being a bit hesitant. Hero is, I think, always confident in all of the games that he plays, and sometimes to his own demise, where he's a bit overly confident and he just believes he can play against everybody and beat everybody, and then, well, he makes these Hero-esque mistakes that we are all very familiar with. But so far, it's working out quite nicely for him. Now, Rogue does now have a 6th hatchery coming up. So this is the 5th right over here. Half of the minerals are gold, so he can indeed boost up his economy quite a bit. He does have Hydraling Bane as well. And now what I really like here for Rogue is that he decided to skip the Roach Warren entirely. That is usually not something you do, especially not when you're 1-0 behind. But he's cutting some corners, and it's clear to me that he's not afraid to go ahead and play a likewise very confident game. A couple of Zerglings do sneak in. They do have +2 melee very soon, which needs to be respected. For now, though, it's going to be okay. High Templar are available. They do not yet have Storm, though, so I'm not exactly sure what the plan is behind them. I guess we just wanted to morph in some Archons. Either way, Banelings do roll through. Nice push right here by Rogue. He is still finding himself at a supply deficit. The main concern, though, is that this Protoss army has a lot more juice in it. Just a way more... well, tanky army, right? I mean, when you see Banelings like that rolling into an Archon, the Archon is just going to shrug it off. It takes more than 20 Banelings to kill a single Archon. And obviously, if you don't kill the Archon, since like 99% of its HP is, well, shields, it will just regen. So that's exactly what happened here. Extremely cost-effective traits so far here for Hero, which will suit him just fine. He's going double Colossus now. Okay. Obviously, against Roaches, you want to have Immortals. But against Hydraling Bane, Colossi are kind of perfect. Nice micro as well, as the Oracle does finally die. Zergling run by on the right side as well, but I think Hero is likely going to have plenty of gateways available to warp in some reinforcements. There we go. What about the fight over here at the front? The one High Templar still hasn't found a partner, I guess, or... I don't know, somebody to merge into an Archon with. It's a little bit sad. Hydras, though, trying their best to break through this, but this weird little wall-off from Hero is working out very, very nicely for him. Now the Colossi are out. The extended lens is not yet available, but I mean, the Colossi alone are going to hurt. Hero purposefully not getting that upgrade just yet. In the meantime, though, I did miss the little roll by, it seems. Let me just back up a couple seconds. In the meantime, it's these Banes. They split off from the main pack while the dance is happening over at the third base. Hero missed it, and I did as well. This is really good. This justifies pretty much the entirety of the push. Rogue knocks his opponent's economy back to just 62 workers. A Hive is coming. A Lurker Den is coming up as well. I would love to see Storm research here in a moment for Hero. I would really like to see the extended thermal lens upgrade start up as well for the Colossi. We're now going to have 4 Colossi out on the battlefield very soon without the ranged upgrade, which is pretty wild. Either way, they do outrange the mineral line over here, and they can kill the hatchery itself, so that's good. Obviously, we already saw that there was another one built all the way up north. A little Zergling run by once again. Hero, though, has had, 10+ gateways here for a while. Push at the front in the meantime, though. No force fields available, but I think the Zerg army is not really strong enough to properly fight this, although more Banelings do slip through the cracks. A lot of the Archons have disappeared. The Colossi, where's the additional ones? Didn't we have 4 of them? Where's the other 2? Reinforcing units do show up. Man, if there ever was a time to hit the all-army hotkey, right now would be a perfect moment. They show up after the battle. I'm assuming they were sort of idling for a little while and just hanging out at home. They started their life with lunch break. Anyways. It looks like Hero pays a pretty price here for this hatchery kill, but he does achieve the original goal. Okay. Man, we're still making Colossi. Do you think maybe extended thermal lens is purposefully not researched? It's a little crazy to me, because range is one of those things that just really helps out. But it is certainly making the game more difficult, right? I mean, when you have, like, this is like, what? How many Colossi have we had? 2 of them have died. Yeah, we've had 6 of them in total. No ranged research is insane. Usually the norm is to, like, go for, like, 1 Colossus and then straight into range. Zergling, Baneling, roll by once again. Protoss army in the meantime stuck in the middle of the map, so say goodbye to your probes. Maybe the Nexus itself will fall as well. In the meantime, though, he's committing into Lurkers. The Lurkers do not yet have their ranged upgrade. Seismic Spines is finishing up right about right now. GG gets cold. Despite taking so much damage in his mineral lines, Hero, he does obtain the victory. I can't believe he made High Templar and then loads of Colossi, and he never got the upgrades for either of those 2 units. And then he still won, despite losing like 60+ workers. Hero in a nutshell.